there's been questions about making it safer, and there's two ways I can think of doing that.
Go for it.
One is the head guards.
Yep.
They've actually recently taken away head guards from the Olympics. So for boxing, as an amateur, you have to wear a head guard.
Right, that's what I understood, yeah. So they've taken that away now.
In the Olympics, yes. So even though they're amateurs in the Olympics, and now, this is very recent, they've introduced, you can bring professionals into the Olympics.
Okay, so let's take the head guards off
And bring
in professionals. I mean, that
in.
sounds ludicrous to me.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the preventative measure.
I don't know if that's a preventative
Because I
measure.
don't think they're going to be preventing injuries.
No, the
there.
preventing the injury is to keep the head guard on.
Right.
So an idea would be to bring that into the professional scene,
Yeah.
which a lot of boxers have argued for.
Sure. And I would argue the same, especially if my child was going into the ring, for example.
Yeah.
I'd probably be an advocate of that.
Yeah, and
I don't have a child, but if I
you did,
if I did, yeah.
But the one that I think makes more sense to me is bringing in same day weigh-ins as the fight. So for people that don't know, you got to make weight. All right?
Sure.
Fine, because it's unfair me fighting Anthony Joshua. That's just
He wouldn't stand a chance, mate. He wouldn't stand a chance.
No matter how skilled he is, he just...
You float like a bee and sting like a butterfly, wouldn't you?
You just said that the wrong way.
Did I?
Oh my god.
Did I?
Float like a bee.
I know.
Okay, fine.
Got you there. Wait.
The reason for that, same day weigh-ins as the fight, is what people are doing, or what fighters do, is they do water cuts.
Yep.
So they literally dehydrate themselves to reach a certain weight. Mm-hmm. And that gives them an advantage in the ring because they got 24 hours to rehydrate, eat as much as they can.
Yep.
The body puts on some weight.
So they dehydrate themselves
to the point they look ill.
Yep. So do you know what that also does?
It can have negative effects on the brain.
So it reduces cognitive functioning.
Yep.
Which puts them on the back end of things.
I've heard mini strokes as well.
And it also leads them to be more susceptible to more dangerous brain injuries of a high magnitude from taking blows. So, yeah, I think it's one of those situations where the same day weigh-ins as the fight.
Which means you couldn't dehydrate yourself.
Well, no.
Because you couldn't fight that day.
I think if you're going to do that, there needs to be some sort of level of monitoring on hydration levels of the fighter. The fighter's got to have a certain level of hydration, which passes them out of that kind of danger zone.
There is stuff like that right now. But I think just saying, listen, you're going to fight in a few hours. Make sure you make weight. You have no choice but to go up in your weight category and actually fight at the weight category you're supposed to be fighting at.
So that's the way to do it then, right?
So, for example, lightweight in the UFC is 70 kilos, if I remember correctly. I am at about 78 kilos. I could make lightweight and fight in that category if I dehydrate myself.
Yeah.
That means everyone else is forced to do that as well, because they don't want to have to fight someone bigger than them.
Right.
Because it's just an unfair advantage. Just eradicate that. That would be the safest thing to put in. And I think that would stop a lot of unnecessary injuries and deaths, actually.